Hey guys, Basement Haunter here. The other week I found an old VHS tape that had my Halloween yard displays from the 90s. I thought it would be interesting to make a video to show what I was doing back then, starting in 1994. Back then we didn't have all the animatronic characters we have today, so it was more basic. Like these light up blow molds, or the cardboard plastic covered cutouts. If you wanted more than that, you had to make your own. Over in the side yard, I built a display mostly out of plywood. I had very basic tools back then, a jigsaw, a Makita battery operated drill and 2x4s, some paint and a bunch of plywood. The cobwebs never looked very good because I didn't have the patience to keep stretching them. They look better the more you mess with them. The coffin is the first Halloween project I ever built. My cousin helped me draw out the dimensions and was cut out from plywood and painted black with some red fabric stapled inside. I found an old shirt, tied the bottom off, and shoved a bunch of newspaper in it for stuffing. Then stuffed a cheap mask for the head. For finishing touches, I put a plastic spider coming out of its eye. This was the most high-tech prop with a strobe light and fog machine inside the bottom of the coffin. The fence was made from scrap wood I'd bring home from where I worked at the time. The toppers were just triangles cut out of wood and screwed on the top. Very crude, but it worked. I got a projector at the hobby store and would print out what I wanted the epitaphs to say on paper and then project it onto the tombstone and trace it out with a magic marker. Then I would go over it with black paint to darken it up. The house sections was marked out with a yardstick. Pretty straightforward there. The lantern on the mortuary sign was real with a real tea light candle in it. I didn't use flicker bulbs yet. I really liked having it on the hillside so everything was easy to see. That was my display for 1994. So I didn't film in 1995. I couldn't find any footage anyway. This is 1996. I had a few more blow molds. I gave the blow molds to a co-worker that decorates their yard several years ago. I made several additions and changes to the display on the hill. I added gargoyle cutouts to the mortuary sign. The half-moon window was changed from red to yellow. I added a ghost tombstone and moved the smoke machine over to the pipe organ I built with Frankenstein playing it. I also added a 4-channel DJ light system with park hands that would randomly flash on and off. The sign, tombstones, and mansion facade was repainted because I got an airbrush and liked the look of that much better than just the brushed on lettering. I also added a scary tree and a black cat cutout. A candelabra was added to the coffin as well. One of my favorite props from back then was the Book of the Dead prop sitting on the blow mold skeleton. I got it in the very early days of Spirit Halloween. Spirit was a lot different then. They had a few props, but it was mostly masks and costumes. I really enjoyed having the display. Cars would slow down as they drove by. The one thing that bothered me was the mansion was too small to physically walk into. The door came up to my waist, so it was just too small. Other than that, I really liked the display.